How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Black Metal Rebellion. I'm your host, Jesse Morgan, aka Slammerella, and today we have in the Metalhead box for January 2021. So the very first 2021 Metalhead box. I always get the, well, not always, but I've recently been getting the big usual box. You can get vinyl boxes or cassette boxes or even mini Metalhead boxes that come with slightly less items but is more affordable if you can't really, fit the bill for the whole thing. But yeah, so we got this box in today. Pretty excited. Got some nice items in here. I did some research and shit for the artists and whatnot, so I can tell you a little bit about them, unlike some people on here. But yes, so the first thing in the box are a couple of pins. And the first pin is a Merciful Fate Don't Break the Oath pin. Really good colors, really cool design. I myself am more of a fan of the Melissa album because it's got the Curse of the Pharaoh and a couple other really cool tracks. I haven't really listened to much from the Don't Break the Oath album, but it is still some pretty decent heavy metal with some like crazy falsetto vocals that either you can enjoy it and get used to it, or I don't know. But yeah, so cool pin right off the bat. Early Merciful Fates, really good. The other pin that we got, and I'm just basing it on the look. I'm gonna take this one out of the package. So here we go. This one is a Overkill pin. This one, I'm assuming, is from the Under the Influence album from 1988, because that's the only album cover that has the death bat that looks remotely close to this, and he's got lasers shooting out of his eyes on the album, but obviously with the pin you wouldn't be able to get those thin lines on there and still maintain the integrity of it. So really cool. I dig the design. As for Overkill, they're all right. Like, the guitaring and stuff is awesome. They're an awesome thrash band. It's just the vocals that, once again, is usually my only issue with a lot of bands. If the vocals don't hit right with me, then it's really hard to kind of ignore it and just listen to the instruments. But yeah, so here's the Don't Break the Oath one out of the package, so you can have a better look at it. Once again, really good colors. The yellow and the flames and the orange and the horns and everything. That rhymed. But yeah, so really good constructed pin. Really nice. Now the only thing is that with the pins, to put them on my vest, I feel like if I was to go to a show, if shows fucking exist anymore in the future, if I go to a show, I feel like they might get ripped off. Even if I super glue the backing onto it, I feel like it could just get caught in someone's hair, or someone's like hand rips them off by accident while they're moshing around. So the pins are neat and they're cool and they're a good item, but the practicality of having them on your vest and not worrying about them, I don't know, unless you have like a pin board or something to collect them, like I know Classy Lonnie does, and a couple of the other metal YouTubers are kind of taking that approach with the pins. I don't know. I like them, but on the other hand, are they really that practical if you're in the pit? I'm not sure. So moving on, we have a shirt, and here we go. This is how I opened it, right? So just from this design, can you guess what band this is going to be? I know I couldn't. There's little hints here with the rocket and the kind of like hat part with the jester piece, but I didn't know. But when I opened this up, I was like, oh shit. I was pleasantly surprised. So here we go. Are you ready for this? Hell yeah. Atrophy. Awesome. Thrash metal band from Arizona, USA. This kind of looks closer to their Socialized Hate album artwork because it's got the rockets and the Joker hat there and that kind of creepy skull face it's got going on. So yeah, really cool design with the bombs going off and the Reapers in the corner there. I really enjoy it. And the Atrophy logo. It's simple but effective, and I really enjoy it. And I'm going to assume it's because they recently released the 3-track compilation EP. Came out on February 27th of 2020, and it's got some of the tracks, I guess, maybe remastered from their demo days, also called Chemical Dependency. But yeah, so they recently came out with that, and I'm assuming since they're kind of getting back together, maybe that's why the Metalhead box threw these guys in. But either way, both their albums from the early days, from the late 80s and early 90s, was awesome. Socialized Hate, Violent by Nature, both awesome albums, classic thrash. Yeah, so for a band that started in 1986, definitely glad to see some modern merch for them. And I think I said way back when that I'd love to get a shirt with their logo on it. So thank you, Metalhead Box, for having this Atrophy shirt as one of the shirt variants. Now I'm really curious to see what the other shirt is. It's more than likely either doom or black metal, maybe another thrash one, who knows. But I'll be interested to go check out some of the other Metalhead Box unboxings on YouTube here and see who gets what. So yeah, stoked for this Atrophy shirt. Really good band. If you don't know Atrophy, you need to get on checking them out right away. Either Socialized Hate or Violent by Nature, both great albums. So yeah, Atrophy, awesome catch for this month. All right, next couple things are a couple CDs and a tape. So let's go through the CDs first. The first one is Were Squatch with their second album from 2019, The Maddening Memoirs. So let's crack this open and we'll take a look at the art inside and what the disc looks like and everything. Once again, there's the front there. There's the back. Were Squatch are a thrash metal band, obviously, because I get the thrash boxes now, from Oregon, USA. So yay, something interesting from Oregon. Cool disc. Is there anything behind the tray? Sort of, just more of the art that you see on the disc. But yeah, so I gave these guys a quick little listen, and they're the, average kind of thrash metal. It says classic old school thrash, mostly mid to slightly higher than mid-paced thrash. They kind of do the wow 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 kind of vocals. Enjoyable regardless. I really enjoy the logo. The name's kind of cool, Were Squatch. The artwork is really cool, painted looking. And yeah, so they started in 2009 as Death Proof, and they were known as that until about 2012. And in 2012 they switched their name to Were Squatch. Before this, they also have an EP that came out in 2012, self-titled Were Squatch, and then they followed it up with their first album in 2015 called Frozen Void. So besides this, there is a couple of things you can get by Were Squatch if you like their brand of thrash. Once again, mostly just mid-paced to slightly speedier thrash metal with those kind of like wow 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 kind of vocals. They definitely have their own sound, but it's a sound that I've definitely heard before in the modern thrash scene. And yeah, it's just your meat and potatoes thrash. Good stuff. All right, the next CD we came in this box is a project called Death Blow. Really fucking cool artwork. The album is called Insect Politics. It is actually their second album, another second album going on in this box. This one's from 2020, December 23rd to be more specific. So it came out really recently. So kind of cool that the Metalhead box got the jump on this project, second album, so quickly and had it available for January's box. And I'm really stoked to have got this because I saw my friend Andrea, aka Andy Toxic, on Facebook, and they were kind of gushing over this album and we're pretty stoked to hear it. And I'm like, oh, that's cool, I'll have to give it a listen. And then lo and behold, it ends up in the Metalhead box. So funny how things work out sometimes. So yeah, if you don't know Death Blow, and I don't blame you, they are a thrash metal band out of Utah, USA, and they started in 2008. They also have another couple of things, and that is the first album from 2014 called Prognosis Negative, and they also have an EP between the first and second album called The Other Side of Darkness that was released in 2015. So if you like this, there's also a couple other things you could be getting from Deathblow. There's the disc there that's kind of upside down. And then you got the band members and some write-up stuff in there. Yeah, it's just talking about the mix and who the band members are. Also, gotta say, pretty neat logo. Not your usual logo for thrash. Kind of has like a sort of like old school death metal slash thrash feel to it. And these guys are slightly heavier than Wear Squatch, and the vocals are more of like the gruff kind of thrash vocals, maybe leaning towards more modern hardcore tough guy vocals. So they've got that kind of sound. And I think every now and then they have like the ah thing that thrash bands like to do every now and then. I didn't hear it too often in the quick pan through of the album that I listened to, so it might not happen a lot. So if you don't like that kind of vocals, don't worry, you're not going to be hearing it too much from what I recall hearing. But really cool that this came in there. Really enjoy that artwork. Really neat. Insect Politics sounds like a very interesting sci-fi type of album theme, and you should definitely check it out. Pretty cool stuff. Good thrash from the US. All right, and the last thing in here is a cassette, and I'm assuming it's a Metalhead box exclusive, considering how old this release is. I'm sure there's not a bunch of these just hanging around left over that the old label forgot or whatever. So I'm assuming this is just from Metalhead box, and this is Slaughter, a Canadian thrash metal band out of Toronto, Ontario. And Josh Armijo and a bunch of other dudes have already shown their like vinyl copies of this off and stuff like that a while back, and I remember checking them out and thinking, yeah, they're all right. But that was before I really got into thrash, and I was still going like heavy into slam and black metal. So re-getting this now was nice, because then it gave me an opportunity to check it out, and it's really good. It's like a death thrash album from 1987. Once again, their first album. They have another album in 2004 though called Fuck of Death. Very interesting title for sure. And this is, since it's Canadian thrash metal, it definitely holds a more special place in my heart, because how local they are. Like, Toronto is about a 20-minute car ride away from me, so really cool to have this old school death thrash album in my collection now. Let's crack it open. Yeah, these guys started in 1984, and probably are one of the staples of Canadian thrash, up there with Razor and Majestic or Infernal Majesty and stuff like that. So this is a nice little gem to have, and the fact that it's on cassette is even cooler. Definitely brings back that late 80s, early 90s aesthetic and nostalgia on a flat red cassette tape, which matches the artwork perfectly. Really cool. Let's check out the J card. There's the J card there, and then the inside is the band members and the logo. Really nice. So yeah, a nice piece of classic late 80s Canadian death thrash, and I'm really stoked. Really cool, unique, nostalgic item to have in the Metalhead box. And if you aren't really into thrash metal, maybe the death metal elements of this release will hook you in and maybe get you to check out some more thrash, because I know it definitely has its charms. It might not be as brutal as death metal or whatever. So I know for the people that come here for black metal and slam, thrash might not be your thing, but maybe give Slaughter's Strapato album a listen to, and let me know in the comments if it changes your mind on thrash. But yeah, really cool item. Love the color. Just excellent all around piece of nostalgia. So thanks, Metalhead box. This box was really good. I'm gonna have to give this one a 9 out of 10. The only thing that would have made it better is if maybe it didn't come with 2 pins, maybe 1 pin and a patch. Once again, I would have more use for a patch or 2 than I would with pins. But regardless, the pins construction is really well. The colors are really well. The band choice for the pins are obviously really cool, especially if you're into just, you know, old school heavy metal and thrash. The vocals on these are not quite my thing, but the instruments, the musicians on this are really talented. So I'm gonna keep these and hold on to them for my collection. But yeah, so all in all, really good box this month. I'm looking forward to the next month's box as well, especially after this. And I think my favorite item in here has to be the Atrophy shirt. Once again, really cool old band, old thrash metal band from the 80s, and just the artwork and logo, really like it. Excellent choice for this month's box, and I can't wait to see what the other shirt variant is. I'm sure there is another one. I'm sure this isn't just the only variant, but yeah, I have a Redbubble unboxing to do. Got some shirts in from my shop just to see what the designs look like. So stay tuned for that in a day or so. Hopefully I get some albums in, because I have a couple of CDs that I'm waiting to get in so I can do a punk collection update or 2. So yeah, cheers for glory, for the Rebel Alliance. Slimerella out.